tried to go through the water because it's too high, but she tried it anyway.
As we approach the 10 o'clock hour on this Sunday night, a dangerous and destructive severe weather outbreak is actively unfolding across a wide corridor of the central Midwest, with communities in Iowa and Illinois squarely in the crosshairs. This is not a line of scattered storms. This is a large, well-organized, and slow-moving weather complex that is unleashing a dual threat of catastrophic flash flooding and destructive, large hail. In the darkness of night, the dangers are magnified, turning familiar landscapes into treacherous, unrecognizable territory. Across central Iowa, particularly in the Des Moines metro area, a flash flood emergency is in full swing. Hours of relentless torrential rain have completely overwhelmed the urban infrastructure. In Polk and Warren counties, streets have vanished beneath murky, swirling floodwaters. First responders are engaged in a desperate battle against the rising tide, with emergency dispatch centers inundated with calls from motorists stranded in stalled vehicles and homeowners reporting rapidly flooding basements. The situation is just as dire in the agricultural heartland of central Illinois. A nearly identical scenario is beginning to play out from Peoria to Champaign, as the same line of storms pivots and re-energizes. Reports are now filtering in of rapid water rises on roadways and creeks leaving their banks, a grim echo of what has been happening just a few hours to the west. The source of this incredible rainfall is a phenomenon we know all too well down here on the Gulf Coast. A deep, powerful plume of tropical moisture surging northward. This moisture is interacting with a stalled frontal boundary that is draped across the region, acting as a ramp to lift the moist air and ignite explosive thunderstorms. Furthermore, the upper-level steering currents are remarkably weak, meaning these storms are training over the same areas. Imagine a freight train where each car passes over the exact same spot on the track. Here, each new storm cell forms and travels directly over the path of the one before it, leading to rainfall accumulations that can be measured in many inches per hour, a rate that no landscape can absorb for long. Concurrent with the life-threatening floods is an equally destructive force, a significant hailstorm. Within the core of these supercell thunderstorms, violent updrafts, some likely exceeding 100 miles per hour, are suspending ice crystals in the sky, allowing them to grow layer by layer. The result is a fusillade of large, damaging hail. The sound is unmistakable and terrifying, transforming from the drone of heavy rain into a deafening, percussive roar. We are seeing verified reports of quarter-sized hail, which is enough to heavily dent vehicles and damage property. However, within the most intense storm cores, there is a very real potential for hail the size of golf balls, or even larger, stones capable of shattering windows, punching holes through roofing, and posing a lethal threat to anyone or anything caught unprotected. Farmers across both states are watching helplessly as a year's worth of crops are first shredded by ice, and then drowned by the deluge.
I've ever seen them. What happened?
For those in the path, this is a long, anxious night. It's the sound of the sump pump in the basement switching on for the 100th time, the nervous check of the creek in the backyard, the flicker of lights as the power grid strains under the assault. It's the constant stream of alerts lighting up cell phones, each one carrying a new warning for a new county, a new creek, a new flash flood threat. It's a community-wide event, tracked in real time on social media with photos and videos that paint a harrowing picture of the storm's true power.
The bishops, so that when bishops face a dispute over the interpretation of Scripture.
What happened?
When the sun rises on Monday morning, it will reveal a landscape transformed. The immediate violent threat of the storms may have passed, but the danger will not be over. Receding floodwaters will leave behind a treacherous coating of mud and debris. Roads may be impassable, not from water, but from sections that have been completely washed away. The cleanup will be immense, and authorities will warn of the secondary dangers of contaminated water and structurally compromised bridges and buildings. And the respite will be tragically brief. While the atmosphere may quiet down for a couple of days, forecasters are already monitoring the next potent storm system scheduled to arrive toward the end of the week. With the ground now utterly saturated, any new rainfall on Thursday or Friday will lead to runoff almost immediately, renewing the flood threat with frightening efficiency. But for tonight, the singular focus remains on preservation and safety as thousands of residents across Iowa and Illinois ride out a storm for the ages.